Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Conversations. And today I have another amazing Black woman. I'm telling you guys, they are everywhere. So today I have the opportunity, the privilege, the honor to bring to you an accomplished screenwriter, producer. I mean, this woman is doing really big things. And I want you guys to know all about her and the projects that she has coming up down the pipeline that we are so excited to see. I want to introduce to you guys Ericka Nicole Malone. So, Ericka, I just want to, first of all, again, say that I believe that representation is everything, and it is so vital and so important for us as Black women to continue to see images that reflect ourselves that are doing amazingly spectacular things in life and achieving great things. Because in turn, what that does is it helps us understand our own potential and what is possible for us. So that is why you are here today. Can you just quickly, tell people about your road in the film industry? How did you end up here? Was this always a thing for you? Was this always a love for you? How did you get guided down into screenwriting and the film industry? How did you get there?
It was such a long path, I think, but there were certain points that I think were pivotal. The first one is I was in college and I was trying to figure out a way. I had went to a university, I had a full scholarship for a theater program
Mhm.
and ended up not liking Shakespeare and not liking the program. So it was like I had a full scholarship, and I told my parents, you know what, I'm leaving this university. They don't have enough Black people. They don't have enough for Black women. I'm gonna leave. And they're like, okay, well, you're paying for school. I'm like, okay, I can pay for school. So I went to a new college, and they wouldn't help me at all. So,
Really?
no, because I had a full scholarship, so they were teaching me a lesson. So I had to find creative ways to pay for college, and I decided to go to the Student Activity Center and ask him, could I produce a play to pay for tuition every semester? And that's what I did. I wrote and produced plays every semester for $3 a ticket. And I'd have 800 students, alphas and kappas and omega psi phi, and all these people coming to my plays. And that
Right.
was like their thing to do. And I think that
Wow.
was my first moment of learning promotions and putting flyers all over the university and writing and casting and learning how to be a leader, I think.
Mhm.
Um, and before that, I had went to performing arts high school, majored in theater in high school. So I had a long history of that. Took a playwriting class, and that was pivotal. And then going to this university, and then after that, I started touring with plays and loved it. Um, and decided after maybe about 20 years, I'm going to write a screenplay. And I wrote it called Ward of the State, starring Janet Hubert, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Vanessa Williams and a few other people. And it was really awesome, an amazing experience. And me and my business partner, Philip Robinson, co-produced it with Ericka Nicole Malone Entertainment. And once we produced that in LA, and I kind of got my first dip of Hollywood, I really wanted to hone my skills as a screenwriter and really wanted to be at the top of my game. So anytime you want to be at the top of your game, you take a lot of classes, and that's what I
Right.
did. I took a lot of classes. I really honed my skills. There's a vast difference between playwriting and screenwriting.
Mhm.
Playwriting is more about, more about dialogue and these big, expositional speeches, whereas screenwriting is, more action oriented. So I really wanted to really hone that, and to understand both aspects, and that's what I did. And once I did, my business partner and I decided to start producing projects, and I also wrote some other biopics for a couple of other people. And so since I did that and really understood, I'm a big Black history advocate and really understand Black history. African American history is one of my minors.
Mm.
And so I really am into Black history, and I just think we're such beautiful people,
Yeah.
such amazing people. And the fact that we've gone from all of these, hundreds of years, and we've survived and thrived the way that we have, to me deserves our stories really out there. And so that's why, to me, it's such a civil rights piece to make sure that screenwriters take these stories and they make those stories powerful to really reach people. A lot of times, life imitates art.
Yeah.
So it's a huge responsibility to create projects that really speak to our people and speak to everyone about what amazing race we are, powerful race we are. So just decided recently to write the Mahalia Project. In 2017, I wrote the Mahalia Project. Um, it's called Remember Me, the Mahalia Jackson Story. And it took about 9 months of research to write that. And it was to learn about her, especially being from the South, understanding in the South, she's a national treasure. I mean, she's a national treasure, period, but definitely in the South, and more so than coastal, she's really reverenced in such a huge way. A lot of
Right.
people don't remember her. So that's why I called it Remember Me. That was one of her songs, but I just, she was such a huge part of the civil rights movement, and that people don't really understand the hidden figure that she was.
Right.
That she would, sing and open up for Dr. King's marches, that she would help finance a lot of Dr. King's marches, that she would help give him private conversations to help him, have the courage along the way. A lot of times
Right.
it's just, the person, but there's always someone pivotal and powerful behind the person that helps, them ascend to where they're going to be.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted Mahalia Jackson to be lauded as this powerful woman that she is, and that she inspires so many people along the way. And in a sense, she, just like a lot of powerful people, she became a martyr, not because she was killed or anything, but because she gave her life. I think she had a lot of health issues, but she was so committed to the movement that I think she neglected a lot of her personal health, as sometimes Black women we do, to
Mm-hmm.
be there for everyone else.
Yeah.
And it ended up taking her life at 60 years old.
Yeah.
So, I really wanted to tell that story. And starring Legacy, who just won a Grammy a couple of
Yeah.
days ago. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Columbus Short, who is playing Dr. King, and just amazing. It's chilling how similar he is to Dr. King.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy just brings so much from Mahalia. And Janet Hubert, who plays young Mahalia's aunt, is chilling in that role, literally chilling in that role. And you have Keith David, Keith Robinson, Wendy Raquel Robinson.
Oh, this
It's,
one is jam packed with some greats here.
there's even some amazing stars that are emerging in this, that Shalia Nicole, Jalen Josie, a little Ava Cherry, that are names that you may not hear every day, but they're just so incredibly talented.
Right.
So it's just a really incredible story, and directed by phenomenal director Denise Dowse, who I was a huge fan of in theater. She's just one of the most amazing directors I've ever seen, and she just brings so much poetry and dance to this movie. So I'm just really excited to see it shine. And me and my business partner Philip Robinson, executive produced this, Vince Allen producer, and just really just love it. It's going to be amazing, and just you get to see a rich history of her history, but also her as a person. A lot of times, biopics, you see it. For me, it just becomes so point driven. I really wanted to show her as a woman, as just a normal person, just trying to figure it all out. Because as Black women, we're constantly trying to figure it all out, trying to dream, trying to balance these relationships, trying to balance love, and yet wanting more out of our careers, and having to decide, what do we choose from this? Should we choose love? Should we choose our career? And I wanted to show that kind of tug and pull with her. And it's just an amazing film. So I'm really excited about that. And then I have another short film, Dreams from the Edge, starring Mark Curry, from Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Bernadette Stanis from Good Times, Thelma from Good Times. And it's an amazing piece about a young Black woman wanting to break through Hollywood, yet, dealing with challenges in her personal life. I really want to create stories that humanize Black people, so people will see us just like everyday people, not just see us. It is important with these stories. I don't think that writers and directors and producers understand how important it is for our survival that we humanize ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. King understood that with the marches, understanding that in those marches, I need to put those marches on television so that America can see us in a human way, so that it will humanize us and it will protect us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've sometimes gotten away from understanding the importance of media.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean, with Black people. And so, yeah, that's what these stories do, and I'm really excited to see how they evolve.
Yeah, I mean, that's really one of the motivating factors for what we do here at I Hear That Girl, is that we want to show. I want to show the natural, everyday human experience
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
as a Black woman,
mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, mass media portrays a sliver of that, you
Same.
know, and for me, it's more of, I see more positive Black women day to day than I can possibly think of that are doing negative things.
There you
Like
go.
it will take me hours to think of a sister that's doing something negative versus
Hours.
all of the ones around me that are, you know, killing it in life, and they are taking all this on their backs and they're still persevering and they're resilient and all of this. And I'm like, well, why aren't these stories there? And so that's what made me choose to say, okay, well, I'll tell the story. I'll tell the truth. And so when we see an artist like yourself that is using that medium and saying, I'm not going to just tell, and I read this, I'm not going to just tell African American stories, I'm going to tell human stories, because at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to show you, is we're human. We are human. We are just like you. We have diverse stories. We have we have amazing stories, resilience, perseverance, all of these things that we can share with the world that enriches the world. And so we need to be able to show that. And so we have to have those voices. We have to have someone that stands up and says, okay, I'm going to do this. And I want to go back to something you said when you first started, which is, we're so aligned right now. You said that you were in school and you weren't into the Shakespeare, right?
Yeah.
And then a situation happens where you're like, I have to, pay for my school, so I'm going to write, some plays. And I think the thing that made it so successful for you at that time was the fact that you were writing from your perspective.
Right.
So all of these, sorors, all of the sororities, the Greeks, all of them, they were so like, okay, this is something that relates to me. It's relatable now. It's not the boring stuff anymore. It's relatable. And that is the power of representation. That is the power of having someone that looks like me behind the pen to tell the story, because now it's a relatable story. And the reason I say this is aligned is because today, with our audience on social media, we set the day for them by setting an intention. And the intention today was to recognize that you're always in the right place at the right time, meaning no matter what you've experienced in life, everything that you've gone through has prepared you for, March 19th, 2021. Like, it has prepared you for this moment. So everything that you had learned along the way, including the Shakespeare class that you didn't like, prepared you for that moment to say, I'm gonna start writing myself to make the money. In your mind, you're thinking right now, I just need to make money to get through school. But then seeing the impact of what you were doing catalyzed you to say, I want to do more of this. I want to, stay behind this pen. I want to keep, writing. And so I love that you brought that up, because a lot of people feel like they're moving through life and they're missing experiences, but not recognizing that everything that you experience adds to what you can produce in this day, in today.
That, every moment that you go through had you not gone through that moment, it wouldn't have shaped you for the next moment. Like, every failure, every loss, I wouldn't take away any loss.
Yeah.
It's all a part of what has shaped me for this moment, so that I can go to the next moment. Had I not went to performing arts high school, but I didn't, I was taking theater classes, but I wasn't as excited as everyone else. So my teacher introduced playwriting. And had I not taken the playwriting class, stayed every day after school, had I not then went to this, performing this university and then went to college, and what would have happened had I not just paid for school myself and wrote the plays? I wouldn't have learned the play business or felt that confidence to do the next thing. So everything is such a pivotal part of the next. I just don't want people to ever be sad or sit in a place, especially with this last pandemic, this last year, feeling like, oh my gosh, that whole year was taken from me, or it slowed down a process. What if God wanted to build you up in that period? What if the breakdown for that moment was just to rebuild you? And had not just took a beat and we've been rebuilt, you wouldn't be ready for this next surge of blessings that's coming in your life.
Right. Yeah, that's what I love. I mean, you brought that up in while you were talking, and I was like, yes, this is so on point. So on point, because that's a message that I'm really trying to push through to my sisters and let them recognize, like, you can still stand in your power today. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. You can stand in your power today. You have all of these amazing projects coming up. That was another thing that you stated about, your love for Black history.
Yeah.
And it shows in what you're writing, what you're producing. So you're in a male-dominated field. How do you navigate that as a Black woman in this male-dominated field? How are you navigating that? Or what is it that you use to help you navigate that field?
It's so funny because a few minutes ago you said every experience that you go through, like you said, is a part of the tapestry of your future, of what you're going to face. And I was raised up with brothers. So, for me, not being raised up with sisters, I that's all I know is being raised up with men. And quite honestly, I probably have better men relationships than I do with women. So, I mean, because that's what's natural for me.
Right.
My brothers were always, I never see men as something that, I definitely see myself as equal, and I definitely feel like women have more of an edge, probably, in my opinion. We have to juggle more.
Yeah.
So I think that because we have to juggle so much, it just gives us an edge in business and in life. And we have to juggle without complaint because, women can't complain. So they don't want to hear us complain.
Right.
So it helps us in business. I can juggle several things without much complaint. And so for women, I don't think we should look at men and think, we have the edge. We do. Black women, all women, we have the edge because we know how to juggle. We know how to balance. We understand work-life balance. We understand balancing our life and our dreams, our work and our dreams, our children and our dreams. Whereas men, they kind of at moments can get a pass and kind of, do their work and then, come back to their kids, at the moment that they have time for, because the mom is doing it and they're kind of lean on the mom. But I think you use that in business as an edge. So I don't think we look at men and say, so definitely in Hollywood, I know the challenges are there. I don't look at them. Let's just say that I see them. I just don't.
I think that's a great statement because it's about, my mom used to teach us tons of Black history, right? And so she would show us everything, the things that would make us mad, and she would say, don't hold your head down, hold your head up, because now you know what you've persevered through. Now you know what you're capable to make, to push through. Yeah. This is your strength. It's not something to be sad about. This is your strength. So I think what you're saying is you lean into the thing that some women feel is a hindrance sometimes, that we have so much on our shoulders. We can't be, we can't complain out front, or we can't do this or that. And you're leaning into it saying, don't look at it as a hindrance, look at it as a strength. You have that ability to juggle everything. You have, yeah.
Yeah. And, and having a mom like I did, my mom, I have to say, was pivotal. She was one of the pieces of this. I was very shy when I was little, but I wrote poetry. And so my mom was, really about putting me around people who would teach me and teach me the business.
Mm-hmm.
Then or teach me writing, and said my daughter is talent, teach her something. And so she was really awesome. I was around all these artistic people, and then but by the time I started producing plays, I was working with men again, and I was producing comedy shows and plays and concerts with these amazing men. So more men who are older than me and teaching me the business. So I think my mom just taught me that, to think, she would say, to think like a man.
I can't hear you.
Said I honed it to think like a woman.
Yeah.
And don't allow fear to paralyze me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think that is such an empowering statement for women to, just lean into that strength of being a woman, because it is,
Absolutely.
like you said, it gives us that edge. We have an edge, and we have to change that perspective, change that mindset of recognizing we have an edge being a woman.
We have an edge. We know how to balance the moon. We're women. We're awesome. We do.
I love it. I love it. I thank you so much for being a part of this conversation today. I knew I was going to get some good stuff out of you. I just knew it, because I'm like, for her to be writing these stories, she got it. She got it. Yes, I want to talk to her. I want to talk to sis.
I can't disappoint Isis. I mean, her name is Isis.
So I thank you so much. Now, I do want to know, when is the Mahalia Jackson Story going to be where we can watch this story?
It will premiere this fall, so I'm really excited to announce. Very excited.
Awesome. So, guys, I will have all the information on Ericka Nicole, so you guys can check her out and support what she's doing. She is telling our stories, and she's telling them in such amazing ways. I am so thankful, so honored to have her on Conversations. Until next time, guys, peace and blessings.